What are you still salty about? My sister got a brand new car for her 16th birthday. I got 20. That is crazy. I would be salty AF. 20 is enough to buy a hammer. That my 6th grade teacher refused to believe I had no idea the dude sitting behind me was copying my answers on the test. This happened to my best friend. Someone copied his answers, and he got detention and the kid didn't. My friend has never gotten in trouble at school, and the kid who copied was like 90% of the way to getting expelled. Oh, I remember this one alright. Table would hold 4 students and our table was ways loud. Not because of me 15 meters. Mind you. It's not like I never got in trouble, but I liked this class a lot. I used to like the teacher as well, until he wanted to set an example. Everyone knew that if this one other guy was made to leave class again, he would be in big trouble with the principal. The teacher visibly doubted sending him away, but then shifted his example 1 chair to the left and sent me out instead. Didn't do nothing. Still hear them all laugh, because it was obviously crap. In elementary school, there was a pencil machine in the front lobby where you could get pencils for 25 cents. There were also special pencils that had stars on them. If you got one of these special pencils, you could take it into the office and get a prize. One day, I decided to get a pencil. I put in my quarter and out popped 2 pencils. And one of them was a special pencil. I went into the office and told the lady at the desk that the machine gave me 2 pencils and one of them was special. She proceeded to say that the machine shouldn't do that, took the special pencil, and didn't give me a prize. That was 19 years ago, and I'm still pissed. This makes me unreasonably mad. What kind of adult does this to a child? Seriously. Karen should have feigned excitement, said it must be your lucky day, and give the kid a prize. I'm salty for op. Especially since you know the prize was probably something like an eraser topper or a bookmark, not a damned Porsche. When my old boss pulled out the 2020 calendar in late 2019 and asked everyone what days off they need so we can plan ahead and around, everyone was spitting off dates. I didn't have any plans, yet so I didn't request anything until she specifically asked me if I needed/wanted any dates off. I shrugged and asked for one day around my birthday because why not? And she started mocking me in front of everyone. It's just a 23rd birthday. Why would you need that off? But okay, obviously rolling her eyes. Then started treating me like an idiot the rest of the day. I'm honestly lost as to why you got mocked tbh. Me too. That's why I'm still so salty. When people do stuff like this, don't laugh along with them. Just ask why. Out loud in the group. In the moment. Make them explain why it's funny. This also works with passive aggressive people too, who like to ask nasty questions or make snide remarks. Why? Is a powerful tool to make people show the idiot they really are. I started doing this a few years ago. It's amazing how quickly people will backpedal when you start making them explain why they are being a jerk. Years ago, a guy I worked with said he could guess the age of any girl in line. I pointed out the girl closest to us who was a tween and asked what's her age. He then called me a pedo for asking him to guess the age of a girl. Edit. I should note this job was at an amusement park where some people literally had the job of guessing ages/weights/heights. Sounds like the dude has some secrets to me. He shoulda taken a seat right over there. A friend told me that they only hang out with me when all of their other options run dry. No longer a friend, I hope. Or at least, not the kind of friend you depend on. No longer a friend, I hope. Well, only if all other options run dry. My mom decided that she didn't want Christmas presents one year and made sure to tell us, me and my 2 brothers. I suggested to her instead that we donate what we would have spent to charity in her name. She said she was fine with that if that's what we wanted to do. So that's what I did. I sent her a nice little card in the info for the charities I donated to, so she could see that her decision helped some good organizations out. Mom was pissed. Why didn't you just send me a gift card if you weren't gonna buy me anything? You ruined Christmas. Now, I love my mom. By that point we had a total of one really nasty fight, and that was several years before. She was fine growing up. She was fine most of my adulthood except for a suicide attempt that I got to call the ambulance for from the other side of the country. Long story. I'm accustomed to buying my mom decent, thoughtful presents. So when she accused me of ruining Christmas for her, I was distraught. I sent her a screen cap of the conversation we had and circled where she said she'd be fine with my decision to donate in her name. Her response? I don't remember that. I deleted those texts. I lost my stuff. Told her it's her own fault for raising me to do as I'm told. And next time just don't say crap. If she's gonna change her mind and not tell us. And then we didn't speak for 3 months. This was 2.5 years ago, and I have not gotten over it. Who the fuck gets annoyed at an act of charity like that? If you were my kid and you came to me with a card, and it had a bunch of charities that you donated to, I'd be so proud, even if I was expecting presents. Edited to make it more clear on what I'm saying. Yeah, it wasn't a great Christmas for either of us. Every once in a while I'll second guess things. But then I remember she literally said to do it, and that I did absolutely nothing wrong. I even researched charities for an hour or so to find ones that were poised to do some real good. And it just pisses me off all over again. Coming second in a school trivia competition 21 years ago. I had the correct answers onto questions that would have sent us to the national champs and was vetoed by the other 3 jerks on my team. That's a life lesson right there. Being right is almost never enough. You also have to be able to convince others that you're right. That hits hard. I was a co-founder of a startup, and during an early strategy meeting, I made a bunch of suggestions that the other founders aggressively dismissed. A year later, we got some funding and hired a CEO who was an expert in the field, and he suggested the exact same things, which they praised as brilliant. They later sheepishly remembered that I'd suggested the same ideas and apologized. That really taught me a lot. Being right is rarely enough. You need to understand why you're right, and you have to be able to sell your ideas. I was at a house party in college, and we had to take off our shoes. Some girl walked home in my leather knee-high boots and I've never gotten over it. What did you do? Wait until everyone had left? Saw what shoes were left and wore those? Or did you go home shoeless? Lol. I worked at McDonald's in high school. I trained maybe half a dozen other people who started there after I did and was never promoted to crew trainer for that sweet $0.15 an hour raise. I wouldn't really be salty about it if they hadn't promoted 2 people I trained to crew trainer and one of them again to manager. Full-time or part-time? On this side of the Atlantic, it was the people working full-time which got the crew trainer and shift manager positions sooner than those working part-time. It also had a lot to do with whether or not you had nothing else going for you /i.e. being dedicated to the job enough. After 10 years of that crap, I was seriously convinced I deserved nothing else. When I was 10, I the goody two-shoes nerd was sat in the back of the bus, next to the class troublemaker, because we had assigned seats thanks to him. He took apart someone's science fair project that was being kept back there, and threw a piece out the window. When someone tattled on him, he blamed it on me, and since the teacher couldn't prove one way or another, they just punished both of us. Despite 15 kids coming to my defense. Screw schools and their fairness in discipline. All I got was one study hall. Kids today are getting bullied relentlessly because they know that standing up for themselves means getting suspended. When I was in junior high, the principal said during an anti-bullying assembly that they were going to try to stop bullying in the school. She didn't change anything about how bullying was handled, and that really made me mad because I was bullied constantly back then. I was mercilessly bullied in middle school. My parents couldn't do anything about it because my bully's parents were on the parent council PTA basically, and their child would never. My dad encouraged me to fight back because the scales were not in a victim's favor. I'd get punished in gym class for not participating properly in grade 9 in high school because they'd play dodgeball every day. And every day a fucking bully would whip the balls directly point blank at my face. Thankfully, a student teacher noticed that the gym teacher treated a bunch of us terribly and he was put in his place. Tried to get rid of my honor roll status by grading me just under to get my average down. What I'm saying is bullies come from the students and the teachers, and I'm happy every day that I'm not in school. Edit. Stumpy fingers lol gum teacher. The minute a parent says, "My kid would never," you know their kid did.